Vegito! Let me show you how far more you can go.
Alright, so in this one, I'm back with another tier list. This time, not being a top 10 list, we do have a full unit comprised tier list here of a bunch of Ultras, Legends Limited, 1% sparking units, and I feel like there's an EX thrown in there somewhere, but there's going to be pretty much every meta relevant unit on this list, and then just options that obviously exist because of rarity and whatnot. But I thought I would bring to you guys a full list because we do have Legends Festival approaching within the next 4 days, I think, at this point. We're going to be getting some brand new characters to shift the list. I actually haven't made a video formatted list a little bit over 2 months, and since then we've had a ton of meta shifts. Some teams rising back to the top like Regen, Fusion Warriors, and so on, right? I believe the last one was like LF Namek Goku. So, yeah, some definitely updates to the list here, but I said it's not going to be a top 10 list. We do have the trash tier, the mid, usable tier, solid options tier, meta, and god tier. If you guys don't know how my lists work, it's pretty much, you know, individual kits, mechanics, and stuff will be considered. The color / team dynamics, you know, meta will be considered, and then of course just all of the above. It's not just like this unit is just simply better than X unit, right? There's a lot of units that could be argued higher tiered, but they're going to be put lower just because they're not in the meta. Simple as that. One I could think of is Beast Gohan at the top of my head. This character right here he has pretty much everything in his kit, and he's one of the best aging characters in the game right now. But I'm gonna put him in solid options. Like, I'm just gonna put him as an example. Is he meta? No. He's not meta. He's I'm just gonna say that Beast Gohan is one of those characters that you can run him, you could throw him on a team. He's going to fit very, very solid on a lot of builds. And whether that's Hybrid Saiyans, whether that's on Leader Slot, whether that's on Sun Family, right? Paired along with Go Frieza, whatnot. He has a lot of mechanics like constant cover nullification, vanish restore, damage output, access to equip, Zenkai buffs, you name it, right? Blast armor. Dude is an absolute monster, but until his teams, like, you see him more in the, me personally, I'm talking meta like top 1000 PvP, maybe in the top couple thousand. You guys are seeing him more often. Let me know in the comment section. I just think he's one of those like right beneath the meta type things. But yeah, he's a solid option. You know, I don't want to say that he's not a top tier character. He still very much is, even though being a little bit over a year old at this point. I'm going to put the best character in the game right now, just so we can get that out of the way. The most dominant unit in the game is Janemba. You know, he has that strike, auto counter gauge, very similar to Ultra Gogeta Blues. However, the strike just feels a little bit more toxic in the sense that there's way more strike teams. And, yeah, he starts out the game with super toxic nature, right? He starts out with his gauge complete, and he draws an ultimate on top of that, right? There's a lot of greens right now to kind of combat that and tank the ults. You know, you're running a greens on pretty much all your setups because of him. And, yeah, I don't think his gauge is as good as Gogeta's because Gogeta's is able to constantly fill up, whereas this guy, he has to slowly build that gauge back up, and he doesn't redraw the ultimate or nothing like that, but he's able to counter if he has a blue card and whatnot. But still one of the highest damage dealing characters in the game. Fits on like regen, movies, you name it. Leader slot him. See the team that I'm running on the screen right there is he's on leader slot on Fusion Warriors. Pretty much a menace on any setup you put him on, but I do think he's the most dominant character in the game. You could argue Regen is the best team in the game. I still think Androids is probably a better synergized team, and they're also one of the top, have some of the best partners in the game. Regen's up there for sure, but I'm gonna start throwing units in trash tier, by the way. I'm not even gonna worry about these characters. Like, is Namek Goku mid or is he trash? I feel like he's trash, right? He's probably mid. I don't want to like OD on this character. He still could like Zenkai buff the crap out of him and he'll just look mid, right? Mid. I guess we could throw a lot of units in mid. Ooh, solid options, bro. Is this Cell meta? Low key, he's meta. This 1% Cell is actually the best 1% unit in the game, I do believe. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Best 1% Zenkai, excuse me. He has the team to really back that up. You're running him on Regen, you're running him on Androids. Yellow, there's purple dominated meta, even though every color has a pretty good usefulness right now. Like every color kind of is needed in a sense. But yeah, I think he has some pretty good mechanics for his Zenkai. So like he definitely got a huge upgrade. He's usable for sure. Solid options. I'm gonna throw Shallot in solid options. I don't know if a lot of people are gonna agree with this, but his blue form is actually really good. Can do some pretty solid damage, and his mechanics, his utility, I believe he does. I don't want to say he has cover null because I'm not 110%. I don't want to look. But I know he has like a couple of nifty mechanics, right? Like he has some pretty good stuff. Like, you know, one-hit wonder type things. Like once it does proc or fill up his gauge, he's kind of just cooking for the time being when his gauge does get popped. I don't want to be saying all this without the facts, bro. Totally has a gauge, right? Yeah, okay. He totally has a gauge, right? He totally does. I'm not just yapping, right? I'm not just yapping, right? Okay, yeah, he totally does. So when the unique gauge is full, he's drawing a blue card. He's restoring health, key, damage inflicted, special move damage inflicted, card draw speed, and cover null. I know it wasn't bugging. But yeah, his blast damage is pretty good. You could slap him on, you know, blast setups, androids, whatever you call it. Want to call it, right? But we're gonna throw this V or LF Vegito in mid tier. These characters they're usable, right? You can slap them on usable, but they're just below usable, right? They're just mid. Like these characters are not good. Is mid above? No, usable is definitely above mid, but they're not good. You don't want to run these. They're not utter and complete trash like this bottom tier characters, but they're definitely mid. I feel like this Goku's kind of trash. We're gonna put him in the front here. This green Gogeta is definitely, I don't know if we want to say meta. You could slap him on Fusion Warriors, bro. You need a solid green on Fusion Warriors. There you go. He's a pretty accessible 1% sparking character. Believe it or not, dude, the Zenkais are getting a little bit better. So he's a Zenkai 1%. He has solid blue card damage, blast arts. If you don't have Pycon, you can run this guy on fusions. He's actually pretty decently, you know, like a meta unit. He's pretty good. This unit's solid options. I feel like he's way more meta than solid options, but we're gonna put him in solid options because what are the differentials between meta and solid options? Like this guy's definitely being ran, so do we slap him on meta? Like he's definitely being ran, so it's interesting. Tier lists are pretty funny. This guy is definitely trash can. VB is usable, I think. He's ultimate, can still do nice things. He's got a Zenkai at this point, but BB, you're getting to the mid area. He might be mid. He might be mid. I'm not gonna lie. Vegeta's usable. His utility's pretty low. He does some really nice damage depending on the team, and then he's like really AOE pop main nuke with the blue card type stuff. Usable for sure. I want to throw VB in usable as well. UI Omen. Okay, he's meta. We're gonna slap him on meta here. Universe Rep is still a top 5 team in my eyes. And he's a great, you know, just an option on teams. You obviously could throw him on solid options, but it's more for those characters that are not really meta. But he's a solid option on teams. I'm going to throw this Frieza here. And, you know, even though he's, like, considered meta, he's not, like, the key go-to meta character or anything. He's just a solid option on some teams. But Fusion Warriors is one of the best teams right now. Androids, top-tier team. And then, I guess, Unirep. Not even I guess, but yeah. This is what we're looking like so far. We can quickly throw Broly is definitely usable with this unique platinum equip, and then he also did just get another equip. It isn't a unique equipment, but it's a specific like movies item that gives pure damage inflicted to powerful opponents. So he's taking advantage of that. You know, just a ramp up king. He can do some solid work. I feel like Gogeta Blue is probably one of those oldest characters that are still usable to this day. No Zenkai, no platinum equip. Just, you know, he has that green card. You can lock in, snipe characters, build up. He can still do pretty solid stuff. You know, Fusion Warriors has 2 yellows, and the fact that I can argue him is still usable is kind of crazy. Solid options. I'm going to throw Future Gohan in the solid options. He's not the man he once was, but he does have a platinum equip. He's aged really good. He's held down. I'm not going to lie. He's one of those units that has really held his own for a really long time. He's still got the teams to back him up. Future Hybrid Saiyans are not up too high right now, but you can slap him on any team, leader slot, and he's going to be supporting like crazy. But his damage overall, damage defenses aren't what they once were. This Kid Buu, I'm pretty sure is mid, even with the platinum equip. Pretty sure he's mid, but could be wrong. I feel like he's usable, right? I feel like usable is a thing, but he's definitely on the closer mid tier. I feel like, I mean, is that fair to throw Kid Buu there? Yes, he is defo mid, bro. He is defo mid. Vegeta might be mid. There's no, what is it? I guess mid and usable is like preference. Like, is it preference? Because it's like the same thing. Like, they're kind of usable, but they're kind of mid. Solid options. This Rose is a little bit above usable. I think the team definitely carries him. A lot of people are going to slander that, but personally, I think Purple Rose is fine. As a Zenkai, obviously he needs a platinum equip. He's nothing insane or fantastic, but that ability to nullify endurance for existing is so powerful. Carried by team is crazy. Future is a great team. And not too many yellows. I feel like there's definitely a decent amount of yellows running around, but like he's just a solid option, which is what that tier is there for. We could probably clean up this list towards the end. Solid options. I'm going to throw the Super Saiyan 4 in solid options. He's a great individual unit. He has his own unique equipment already, his own Zenkai, but he is not meta because GT isn't a team. And he's a little bit above usable. I feel like individually he's a really solid character, so I'm going to throw him in solid options. But, yeah, he does exist. This guy is mid. Holy crap. Gogeta 4 is, you know, I want to say he's usable. Maybe we could throw him in usable. Come on, defensive menace, bro. If we're going to put this Gogeta Blue in usable, like, come on. With Janemba being the best character in the game, this is when Janemba leads #1, right? Green character, he's usable right now. Come on. Hold the boy down. He's usable. Zamasu, he is mid. Holy crap, he's not even usable. This Revival Gohan is definitely usable. He's going to be on the higher tier of usable. Almost a solid option. One of the better aging characters in the game as well. Revival's still a great, you know, probably the best it's ever been for Revival right now. It's really valuable to have a Revival unit on your team. And then team-wise, you know, Movies is not the greatest. It's not a top 5 team. You could argue still top 10 team right now. But, you know, definitely carried by units, right? You could have him on a team with Janemba and, like, other party characters, and it could definitely cook. But, yeah, not a bad character for how old he is. 3 or 2.5 years. Third anniversary, we're approaching 6, like almost 3 years. And he doesn't have a Plat or a Zenkai, so freaking pretty good. Solid options. We're throwing this full power Frieza on solid options. He's not, like, I don't want to say he's not meta or anything, but he just could have been a lot better. A lot of his abilities, teams, he could definitely be carried by, like, LOE, Go Frieza specifically. That's pretty much all you're going to see him on. But the ability to nullify endurance is really strong. He supports Dragon Ball manipulation, but given Dragon Ball's already appearing slower, he has some pretty good stuff in his kit. He has the potential to do stuff. Vanish Restore has a lot of potential, but should have been a lot better. I think he's still a solid option. This Evo is usable. He is not a solid option anymore. You're not going to really rely on Evo, but he's pretty good. He could definitely ramp up and be a monster, but he's on one of those tiers where it's like more times than not, he's just a liability, unfortunately. But I'm actually revisited him recently. If you guys want to see that, it's the Kaioken Evo video. And he just ramped up so much that he soloed an entire 14-star region team. So, a little bit, he's at the top tier of usabilities. So, I'm going to throw him at the top usabilities, really. Yeah. This is how we're looking like. Not really, like, kind of ranking these. I'm just slapping them on tiers, by the way. This guy is mid! Holy crap. This dude is mid. Is he trash, though? I feel like he's more mid than trash, though. Yeah, he's definitely mid-tier. This Cell might be usable. Considering regen and androids, you know, for older characters, if you want to stay, like, have them be carried by their respective top-tier parties. Androids regen definitely gonna carry this guy to usable. He has a platinum equip, all that stuff. He's probably in the middle of, like, usable. His unique equipment does help get his gauge to a place where it needs to be, but I think... yeah, he's definitely not the worst. I feel like Blue Boys is definitely usable. You could just super Zenkai buff the crap out of them, support whatever, and they're still standing tall with no platinum equip or Zenkai. So usable is definitely okay. Sort of Hope is meta. for sure. He's on Future. It's pretty much the one team that he's ran on, but you could slap him on Sun, or I'd say Sun Family. I meant hybrids. I meant hybrids. You can run them on hybrids. No one really runs them on hybrids, but it's the trio of VB, Rose, sort of Hope, or you can even have Purple Cell on that combination, that mix. Speaking of Purple Cell, I guess we could slap Purple Cell on God tier. Right now, Purple Cell is a demon, bro. He's literally a demon, and you can build him Blast, you can build him Strike. He fits on Regen, he fits on Androids, which is the two best teams in the game. He fits on Future. That's a third team right there. He's very versatile team-wise. He's constantly that gauge, of course, restoring his Vanish, getting cover nullification. He has some really good stuff. He can faint on his blue card. He does that AoE death damage, obviously, if he dies. Yeah, a lot of the teams, he is really, really solid right now. Ultra Gogeta is usable. He's not a solid option anymore, unfortunately. He's just aged to the point where he's just, you can use him, but he's not great or anything. So, he has, he has still great mechanics. He just needs the Platinum equip. I feel like with the Platinum equip, he'll be good again, but until then, he destroys your opponent's hand after he lands the blue card, I think, but he gets the blue cards with the unique gauge. He has the Nullify Endurance for existing after Dead Ally, I think. He gets 2 ultimates, kind of cool. There's like a couple of niche things that he does get. I might be wrong about the endurance thing, but it was something like that. He does nullify endurance for something at some point. But Bardock, he's usable. He's not a solid option. He's usable. He has an equipment, makes him okay, usable. It's in the name. You can definitely slap him on a team. Leader slap, probably, because you want everyone else to get that extra HP that he offers on his Z ability. But yeah, Kaioken's probably also unusable. I wouldn't even throw him as a solid option. Like, he just exists. Like, he did just get a Zenkai recently. He's probably one of the better 1% Zenkais too, but wouldn't even consider him like a solid, like, he's just a good, okay. Probably underrated from my point of view, but, team-wise as well is not really, the team can't even carry him, like, all that much. Revival Frieza is a solid option. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because of his Revival right now. Revival's a pretty good option. He's carried by Go Frieza as well. Anyone that's just carried can be that little bit level forward, but maybe just usable. Maybe I was gassing. I was glazing a little bit too much there. He's definitely usable. I don't see him as much anymore, but I feel like people were definitely trying to glaze him maybe like 2 months ago when Go Frieza, or 3 months ago when Go Frieza was still like cooking really hardcore, and they definitely are still, but we have some new kings at the meta, as you guys can see at the top. Speaking of Go Frieza, where are they at? We can just slap them at the top. I don't really want to like order these. I'm pretty sure Go Frieza is still the best individual character in the game. They just have too much going on for themselves, from the rush protection with the gauge, the constant ramp up, build up, healing, damage inflicted, blast armor, nuking, Zenkai buffs, team options, equips, like everything. They have everything, and they're just them. And I love the character. I love Frieza. I love Goku. You guys know it's one of my favorite characters, even though, Universe Rep deserved the buffs, by the way. For anyone hating on Universe Rep, they're like, oh my god, we're so tired of Go Frieza. Listen, the team was dead for 2 years before they revived. This was the year of Uni Rep, realistically, right? They started the tag with Universe Survival Saga. Shit was dead. The team didn't exist. They had to make a whole new tag for the team to bust down like Tatiana. But Android 21, she is, hey, I want to say she's a solid option. Because androids, right? Solid option. She's a solid free-to-play option. She's got some pretty good burst damage. Do I want to throw her on? She's a good option. No. She definitely is a good option. She's got solid burst damage, disruption, all that good stuff. Maybe even debuffs, I'm pretty sure. But like on androids, I'm just thinking androids is one of the best teams. You're slapping her on there. She's also blast based, so she fits perfectly. Meta, I'm gonna throw the Jiren here. He's newly Zenkai'd here with the platinum equips. Probably one of, if not the best LF Zenkai in the game right now. Just a super tanky dude. Like, you're running him on Uni Rep with MVP 17 and Go Frieza. Literally can't rush this team, because if you rush him, he's getting buffs. You rush Go Frieza, they're stopping with the gauge, and then MVP also has endurance. So, yeah, he is a wall. Obviously, they didn't give him too much on his Zenkai, but his stats are so high, and his just equipment team options are really crazy. Beerus is probably usable. We're going to throw him on usable. There's a lot of revival units in the meta right now, and given he's blue and most of the revival units are green, it's kind of tough for him. But yeah, this Kaioken, I want to cope and throw him in usable, but he's almost mid-tier, bro. If we're putting some of these other dudes in usable, like, we are coping. Holy crap. We are coping. So, usable is crazy. Is this like a crazy term? Like, damn. I feel like we gotta move a lot of these guys to mid. But, usable, maybe we should buckle down on usable and throw a lot of these guys on mid. Yeah, I think we do. This dude is not usable. I'm sorry, man. Oh, let's do that. Let's buckle down. Let's buckle down already. Mid. 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 Usable, mid. Usable. Okay, usable. Mid. And it's not all their faults. I mean, if we really take a look at it here, some of these dudes are really just mid, bro. Like we had to buckle down just a little bit, bro. I was being way too nice with the usable tier. Holy crap. Mid. Yo, this game is raining mid right now. Most of the options mid. I feel like Whis is still usable. You know, he's one of the green card holders in the game. He debuffs. Definitely does support disrupt, stuff like that. He has cover null for a really long time. It's pretty good. I'd say this Golden Frieza is definitely usable still. Pretty old, but a green option in a meta where Janemba rules. And, you know, he could be carried by team. Go Frieza, stuff like that. Maybe even on a leader slot blast team. But droids are definitely usable. Androids, like I said again, carrying these guys to infinity and beyond. Given they take a little bit of time to ramp up. You know, they can. If you drop a lot of combos, their damage could be kind of stupid. I'm not even going to lie to you. Their damage is... Remember when they were #1? MUI! My buddy, you have some of the most broken mechanics in the game, but you are so, like, almost mid, dude. But since I've been cooking with you recently, you're definitely usable. I can vouch for you comfortably because I use you a ton. But no platinum equip, but he still has, like, the auto Dokabaki win. He has the, you know, unique gauge to where you're auto-dodging. That ability within itself is so powerful to stall. And he has some other nice quirks. Endurance. He has his ultimate hits pretty hard still. He fits on Universe Rep, which is the team carries him. But yeah, he has a lot of team access. No real good Zenkai buffs, unfortunately. But I feel like one day he's gonna be back up to his stardom, right? But yeah. We are going to slap Dragon Fist as a solid option nowadays. Oh my god, Dragon Fist, you are him now. With the platinum equip and, you know, movies kind of being like a bit meta. You know, it's not like the best, like a top 5 meta team, but like Janemba's movies, right? So I have this dude on the team as a green option to counter him and be a part with him. Can cook. He's a solid option. He does exist. Tapion, you are mid. Holy mid. Holy mid. You are a, you know, a support option, whatever, but you're holy mid. I don't know if I would go as far as to say you're trash. I guess USV is usable. We're going to slap him in usable right there. I actually used him today. Fusions is a top team, so you can definitely use him. Yeah, purples are pretty dominant. He has some good quirk abilities, debuffs. Obviously, he can go type neutral. He can, he has cover nullification. He has that auto count, like any unit with a gauge has abilities with that gauge. Ultimate does go type neutral if you have a dead ally, stuff like that. He has some pretty good stuff. Mecha Frieza is probably usable. Probably usable. I'm gonna slap him on usable. He's not like horrible still. He can maybe take a hit and carried by team, stuff like that. This Goku Black's probably usable. On the backer end of things, he holds blue cards. That's really valuable. Plus team, whatever. Trunks is definitely usable. At this point, I'm a platinum equip. He has some good utilities, multiple ultimates. You name it, right? Blast armor, control, all that stuff. Cooler, you're approaching mid, but I'm going to put you in usable because LOE, man. Anyone that you could slap with Go Frieza, solid option. You can just use him, right? It's like usable, I guess. Like, sure. Gogeta Blue, you are meta, my friend. Fusion Warriors is back to its supremacy, its prime. Not really its prime, but like top tier status right now with LF PyCon. I know everybody would love to hate on LF PyCon. Oh my god. But check the top 5 players in the world. Check the top ranks in the world. Check the top one. Check my team right here. Revival is extremely valuable. Green is extremely valuable. It's the best of both worlds. One, he does a lot of damage and he can take a hit. He's a defensive unit. Great. He should have had a couple of other things, sure. whatever. I will defend this unit till Kingdom Come, bro. Right now, my boy PyCon, LF Gogeta / PyCon, is a top meta character in the game. That's just facts. If you disagree, sorry, just get better. But yeah, don't be a sheep and just hear that he's trash and basically say he's trash. Broly's usable again because he got another buff, right? Obviously, oh, not another one. He never had a buff. But yeah, he got an equipment that gave him damage inflicted. So it's this one right here. I was talking about it for the LF Broly a second ago, but I guess I could show you guys. If you don't know which one I'm talking about, kind of gives the boy some form of relevancy. Just a bit. Just a tiny little bit. This one right here is kind of decent. It's giving pure damage inflicted to powerful opponent characters. So, yeah, I mean, you're definitely not mid like your not counterpart, but the other Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken's very sad days. Pan's a solid option. Probably one of the best individual support characters in the game. Just a lot of damage inflicted. You can slap her on a lot of teams for Disrupt. Movies is pretty good. Hybrid Saiyans, you know, any team that you want to ramp up, do a lot of damage with. She is the ramp up queen. We got Pickle Man here. He's probably mid. He's probably mid, bro. They used him, but regen's up. I mean, carried by team. Hello? We're gonna slap him in usable. Carried by team real quick. Solid options, you know, just the tag fours are really great individually. It's just they don't have the teams to back it up. I'm sorry, they do not have the teams to back it up. For a year old, they're pretty good still, though. This guy, androids, carried by team, pretty good still as a lock-in. Other nice mechanics, abilities, can take a hit pretty well. Androids is actually really, really tanky, so I think these two guys are actually aging really good. EX Omega, for an EX character, he's actually pretty good. So we're going to throw him on usable, which is actually crazy. If we compare about mid to this, EX Omega is crazy. I guess Super Saiyan 2 Trunks and Vegeta is definitely on the usable tier. I wouldn't say they go as far as to say as they're a solid option, but they're usable. They do exist, and they have a lot of mechanics. Quick cover nullification, vanish restore, healing, but they just get insta-killed way too often. This is Zamasu, who's aged really well as well. A lot of healing restore for the team. Disrupt, endurance. He's just a solid glue party character for teams. I don't think he's he's usable. He's not a main or solid option, but he's at the top of like usabilities. Like, he goes too far as to saying that regens, you know, you be used on regen, he can be used on future, whatnot, right? We're gonna continue here with Kid Buu. Kid Buu is meta. He is top meta right now. Regen is one of the best in the game. You know, if you're running pure regen with Janemba, the damage is insane. This guy has great utility. AoE green card, lock-in blue card, AoE ultimate, blast armor, constant healing. Very annoying character, so he's really good. MVP 17 is going to be the god tier. This guy is the new age future Gohan. He released in the beginning of this year, and probably one of the best characters in the game. Double vanish once he fills his gauge, provides cut pen for the entire team. He supports universe rep on his green card, does really solid damage, and tank pretty decently. He has the whole team tanking, blue cards, ultimates, all that stuff. He has endurance. He nullifies the ability for UGB to rising rush him if he's on the field, right? He's not going to die because he nullifies their ability to nullify endurance, all that stuff. But yeah, he's really good. Hits is a solid option. I wouldn't go so far as to say he's meta right now because I don't see him at all in the meta. Like, I don't run into this character whatsoever too much, but he's just so good individually, and he has the team to cover him, right? Unireps, he's definitely a solid option. I'm going to slap him up there. Probably higher than that. You could probably throw him in the meta. It wouldn't even be too bad, but he's really just not seen at all. I'd say Revival UI is definitely meta. He's one of those characters where it's like, don't see him too often, but you know what's up with this character, right? Revival, super valuable. He's a green character. He's going to be able to combat against the best unit in the game. Uni reps a solid team, or not more than a solid team. You guys get what I'm saying, but the gauge, obviously the transformation to UI sign, he gets the gauge for the auto dodge. He has cover nullification, really good points there. Before he transforms, he does have another form of cover null with main ability, and he gets, you know, a whole new hand, all that stuff. He's pretty good. This dude is actually really good. He's meta, I'd say for sure. This dude is usable for sure. He released during, I forgot honestly when he released. Was it this year? Pretty sure it was this year, maybe. But yeah, Roshi, you know, he can seal. He does that ability. He's pretty cracked. You know, he's definitely in the usable tier. I can respect it. W Roshi. We're gonna slap Green Rose in meta somewhere just in the middle of meta, stuff like that. You can slap him on a lot of teams. He takes a little bit to ramp up, to be completely honest, but he's a solid overall option on like future. He's a green character, so he's gonna be able to combat Janemba, all that stuff. My hair looks really bad, bro. It's because it's late. But yeah, I think he does get a lot of glazed right now, even though he's aged a little bit, even though he released a couple of months ago. He has 3 ultimates. He's got means of Vanish Restore. He has Blast Armor. He has Paralyze, which is so toxic. So that's one of his main things. He's probably carried by Paralyze, easily carried by Paralyze. And he's capable of doing some great damage once he's ramped up. This Cell is a solid option. I'm going to throw him in solid options. He's a little bit above usable. I don't see him too much, but his team can definitely hold him off. He's just red. And being a red character right now is a little bit tough, but he has so much to him. He's so freaking good for a 1% unit. I actually don't own this character. This Trunks is usable, probably. I've heard he's mid, but he's definitely not mid, like bad mid. He's just a unit that exists for no reason, and he dropped, and he's like, okay. And that's how I feel about him. Solid option. I feel like the Boo Bros are usable. I wouldn't even go as far as to say they're a solid option, to be completely honest. They're in the same realm as like Trunks, Vegeta, and they're kind of just not that great, but you could use them now with their Platinum equip. They're doing a little bit more damage, especially with their Transcendent Kamehameha doing a little bit more, so that's really cool. They gave them a buff, but I feel like it wasn't enough to the point where they're going to be a solid option in the meta right now. They're just a usable unit, tag switch character. They have some Covernal, some decent stuff, teams, whatnot. Jiren, you're going all the way up to meta, buddy. Oh my god, you made it. Dude, top tier 1% unit lasting this long is insane, man. Like I said, I'm not really like rating these like exactly like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 type shit. Like I'm just slapping them on the list here. They're all pretty close to each other. At the top, I'm rating this in order. I would put this 1, 2, 3, 4. From up here, there's probably other characters that I'd put in front of maybe LF Pycon, but to be completely honest, like he's in my top 10. So he'd be around like 5 through 10, something like that. We're going to continue with Kayawe. She's definitely usable, carried by Universe Rep. She has some pretty good abilities, and she's green. Same thing with Carousel. He's definitely carried by Universe Rep. Pretty good for a 1% sparking character. I'm going to just slap him in the middle here, somewhere like that. Usable tier is going crazy right now, I'm not going to lie. Orange Piccolo! By the way, this video is releasing before his plat, and he's already meta. He went from rags to riches because of Janemba, dude. Can you believe this? He's good on movies too, but I feel like he just needs, you know, basically he was on boost recently for the Sagas on Movies campaign, and those pure defenses helped him out so much, dude, that this plat's actually going to make him really good on that team. Specifically, Regen is going to be really good, but overall, Piccolo's pretty solid. Revival's also really solid. Green, being a green character is really solid. Individually, you know, he's gotten slander, deserved slander, but he's definitely carried by team right now. I think his plat, you know, might be able to boost him up a little bit, but he's around this range of meta pretty good right now. This Nerdhan, he is usable. You know, he's got the teams. He's got the, you know, support slash being an offense unit. He's very awkward. I don't really like Nerdhan too much. I'd much rather run the pan support, but, you know, he's definitely a usable unit. He's not bad. Gammas, you've made it to the top of the ranks, bro. There we go. He is, by the way, above LF Pycon. See, I knew there was a couple of more. That's why. VB as well, dude. I was thinking about these two. I was like, bro, there's definitely more characters that I'm not thinking about. So, yeah, Gammas being on androids, having sustain, healing, vanish restore, their I forgot what the fucking 6 a.m. But you guys get it. Their finishing move, their core breaker. That's what it is. Their core breaker attack nukes everything, bro. So, like, obviously, you want to let that off. But besides that, they have really good damage. A lot of teams lack blast defense. Androids, the synergy between MVP 17 and even LF Cell. This is just a disgusting trio. And then we're going to slap UVB here, the god tier as well. Just individually, such a ridiculous character. Constant nullification on entry. Filling up that gauge, he just keeps going. He has that AoE ultimate that you can pretty much just nuke an entire team to, because you can control how much damage you're dealing. You're tapping the screen like a madman, but he has ways to go type neutral. He's a rush merchant. He fits on a lot of teams. Fusions right now is a pretty top tier team, and so is Future. So him, UGB, LF PyCon's a fantastic team. Him, Sword of Hope, LF Cell, even Rose is a fantastic team. Gamma's has some other options too. It's not just androids. You could throw him on like a movie setup with the Kid Goku. I think Kid Goku's also you could slap him at top meta right now. He's not god tier, but he's definitely at the top of the meta. Even with the Dragon Ball gain being lower overall, I think he is still really cracked, bro. His damage, he also is really crazy on Dragon Ball Saga. I'm pretty sure that's one of his best teams. If you have Dragon Ball Saga built with the proper equips, this dude's just doing so much damage. He's getting support as well. But yeah, this dude with the Gammas, and then I guess like other either DB, you know, like these guys at the bottom here don't have access to the Aider here, but I'm pretty sure he's a solid option. Like I said, Dragon Ball Saga is great, so I'm going to give them solid option roles. Would I go as far as to say is their meta? DB Saga's meta, bro. Throw them in meta, dude. He's also an android. These dudes are meta for sure. Come on, man. Meta. Right. Solid options. Yeah, this looks good, dude. DB Saga, you can argue them. The fact that you can argue them as a top 5 team, I personally probably would put them like number 6, 7. Like DB is so annoying, bro. Maybe they are top 5. Who knows, dude? I feel like a lot of people underestimate just because nobody gives a shit or has these characters. Me personally, I don't have them. I literally don't have them, but I can tell you from experience of playing against these units that if you have the team built properly, oh my god, they cook. As you can see, I don't own some of these characters here, but yeah, I just have enough experience to let you guys know that they are pretty freaking good. They are meta. Ginyu, you are top meta, bro. You are really good individually, and obviously with the Ginyu Forest trio, you guys are all gonna be in your little meta snapshot areas, kind of like that. I've been trying to kind of rank them in a certain place, but they're all like anyone that's in this realm right here are like really close to each other, like at the top part right here, really close, and everything else you can, I guess, debate and like stuff like that. But yeah, this is looking pretty good so far. This list is looking pretty good. Namek Goku, you're not, you know, you're pretty good. You just been dropped down a little bit. Janemba, his key reduction is just too crazy. Strike, you know, counter, all that stuff. You fit on a lot of Saiyan teams, right? Go Frieza plus UVB is like your main setup, or even maybe like a Super Zenkai buff / support setup with Pan or First Form Frieza. Blue cards. Once he gets going, it's like the new age Evo, right? Once he just snowballs, he's just doing so much damage, and he can snipe with that ultimate. So that's really good. Magenta is meta. You are top meta, my boy. I'm not gonna lie. Androids is carrying your ass, bro. You're not a bad character. Support, Glue, being a green option for an Androids team to counter Janemba. You are fitting along. Oh, look at all these green units, bro. They're making a comeback, bro. Rose, Pickle, Goldo, and Raccoon, the tankiest, probably the tankiest unit in the game. Like, just like, realistically. I mean, PyCon exists. This guy exists. Magenta is pretty tanky, I'm not gonna lie. And then obviously the death damage that Cell Max does do to the team. All that. I'm gonna throw Roshi in usable. You know, he's not great whatsoever, but DB Saga definitely carries him as the yellow option there. This Gohan is a solid option. I'm gonna give him the respect he deserves. He's not the best or anything, but he has a ton of utility in his kit, support. He's a wall as well. He's probably one of the more tanky characters in the game. He's able to do solid damage. He's got the teams, all that stuff. And then the last one's his Extreme's probably usable. He's never seen or anything, but he's just on this list. So this is what we're looking like for our entire tier list right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'm back for like a quick second. I don't know why I did my boy tag fours like this, bro. They're definitely a solid option. It's just, yeah, let's do a little bit of cleaning. Little bit of cleaning, bro. Tag fours, they just missing a team, man. They're so good individually still. Maybe you could put a little bit of respect on Boo Bro's name. Solid options, like we gotta put some respects on names, bro. Like, this is Zamasu's just getting way too much slander. I had him in usable, bro. I had, you know, he's definitely, for his age, he's still being a solid option is kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Solid options, and yeah, I think this is it. This is a lot better. This is a lot better. Cleaned it up a little bit for you guys. There you go. My bad. Throw a little bit of more characters and solid options. I had usable. It's all like a lot of like you guys get what I'm saying. All right, peace, bro.
Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait.